As a Birmingham gay myself, when did King's Heath become Brum's newest gay quarter? Did this happen overnight? Correct. That's exactly what happened. Well done. I had been seeding it into the gay community because I'd set up a fake Grindr account called Sugar Daddy, which is it's like a dating app like Tinder but for gay people. And I just seeded it into conversations, get it in their subconscious, this sort of thing. He started. He said, "Where are you based?" I said, "King's Heath. It's a gay village now." I was giving him the idea. He said, "Sure. You into piss play?" It's 11:39 a.m., darling, but, you know, you do you. Nobody spotted that Sugar Daddy is Alan Sugar, though, so that's good, isn't it? That's good. I think some of the resistance was because we do have a gay village in Birmingham. It's called the Gay Village. It's in the centre of town. And I went out there not long after all this had started, and I went to a place called Sequin Showstoppers, where they sell drag clothes. I was trying on some bits. It was a day-drinking day, you can tell from my eyes. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And after I'd left Sequin Showstoppers, went for a few pints and ended up at a house party with about a dozen gay guys, and they were all talking about it. And I was so drunk, I didn't want to give anything away. And this one guy started, and he was like, "Have you seen that King's Heath's a gay village now?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "It's probably just like one bloke who set up a website." And I was like, "Yeah, probably." And a limited company and a bank account, actually. It was quite complicated, actually. It was quite involved, actually. And then this other guy popped up out of nowhere, and he was so cross about it. He was like, "I'm sorry, King's Heath is not a gay village. In no world is King's Heath a gay village. We have a gay village in town. It's called the Gay Village. They have a pride march there every year." And I was like, "Oh, right, is that what you have to do to be a gay village? You have a pride march?" And he went, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh." So that was the final piece in the puzzle. In order to convince the gays that King's Heath was a gay village, I had to run a pride march. Now, immediately, as Ken emailed the Hare and Hounds, and Adam Regan, who runs the Hare and Hounds, very nice man, he replied very positively, but said, "This is quite big to deal with over email. We should speak about this on the phone, really." I'd not been keen speaking on the phone as Ken, because I'm not great at accents, but it was time for Ken Roberts to speak on the phone.
Hello?
Adam Regan, it's Ken Roberts from the Gayborhood Foundation.
Hello, mate.
I wanted to talk about doing a pride march in King's Heath.
Oh, right, okay. 26th of September, yeah, I'll pencil that now. I'll wait for you to confirm it.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Regan. I'll leave you to your day. Remember, you can only ever be yourself unless you're Ken Roberts.
Thanks, Ken. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye. I'm doing a pride march in 2 weeks. I don't know what to do.
2 weeks to run a pride march. Never run one in my life. Don't even know where to start. Don't know what to call it. I can't call it King's Heath Pride. That's naff. And then I remembered that comment on the Facebook group. It's King's Heath, not Queen's Heath. Of course we called it Queen's Heath Pride. Changed the name of the pub outside just for the occasion. Now, we had to have a march. Now, the high street on the right here, very busy. Can't do a march there. It wouldn't be safe. But I remembered that York Road here is pedestrianised. So we decided to do it between the Duke here and the Hare and Hounds, which is a journey of 81 yards or 1 minute. But it's something, it's something. The next 2 weeks, Ken was obsessed buying all sorts of props, trying to get bunting, all sorts of different bits and bobs, trying to get DJs. One of them was very litigious and said, "If you want to have live music, you'll need council permission. When is it? Just a warning, it can take weeks to get approval." Ken said, "It's in 4 days." He went, "Yeah, you're fucked." Too late by then, already ordered the unicorn. People were tweeting about it. The Birmingham Mail had run another article. I'd managed to book some drag performers. Fat Butcher agreed to perform. He's a wonderful drag performer. Wonderful. If you don't know Fat Butcher, I did a live show on Channel 4, a Pride show, and Fat Butcher did poppers in the background, directly on national television. So that's my career dangling by a thread. Thank you, Fat Butcher. She's in. There was excitement in the area. And then the night before the Pride, I'd been so excited about all the little details and getting all into the granular bits of it, I hadn't looked at the burner phone. And I looked down at the burner phone, and there was a voicemail. Here is that voicemail.
Good afternoon, this is Sergeant for the West Midlands Police. This is a message from Ken Roberts. Mr. Roberts, I'm trying to get hold of you as the other police officers have been trying over the last day or so in relation to a possible event happening over this weekend in King's Heath High Street. Could you ring me back, please?
My first thought was, fuck. This is a police officer trying to contact someone I've invented about about an event that is almost certainly illegal. I had started to have a panic attack again. For some reason, one of my triggers is I think I'm going to go to jail at some point in my life. I don't think I'll thrive there. And in my panic, I told a friend everything. I told the first person I told everything to, because she's a lawyer and a friend, and I thought she could help me. She sent me a series of WhatsApps. Here's the first one. I'm not a criminal lawyer, Joe, so not entirely my world. But from what I can see, you've been pretending to be someone else with multiple people in an attempt to run a public event. I'm guessing you haven't done a risk assessment. Have you got public liability insurance? What if someone is hurt? What if there's an accident? This is all happening tomorrow. You have a large inflatable. Will the unicorn obstruct traffic? Do you have council permission? There are so many legal problems here, I actually don't know where to start. Next message. I don't know, but you might be in breach of the Fraud Act 2006, Section 2. Here is that act. It states you are committing an offence if you pretend to be someone else and attempt to gain from this. Are you attempting to gain from this? I'm trying to get my house price up. Unfortunately, Joe, my professional advice would be to cancel the event. Announce it can't happen for unforeseen reasons, apologise, delete Ken's email, and throw the phone in the canal. Now, that's my professional advice. My personal advice is ignore the phone call, carry on with the event, and pray to God that the unicorn doesn't suffocate a child. Very sleepless night that night. Wasn't sure if I was in deep shit. Wasn't sure if I was going to get arrested. I didn't even know if anyone was going to show up. And then I woke up on the morning of the 26th of September last year, and this happened.
This is the Queen's Heat Pride.
Gay everywhere, gay everywhere.
Absolutely buzzing.
2,000 people showed up. Hello, everybody. You well? Oh, lovely. Thank you, lovely. Give me a cheer if you're from London. Lovely. Give me a cheer if you're from Birmingham. Oh, cool. Which part of Birmingham are you from? Walsall. Gutter trash. Oh, my word. Hell, I will be slagging you off later on in the show. Don't worry about it. Have you travelled from Walsall for the show? Oh, thank you. Did you get the train? I heard the trains were quite bad. It was fine. It was all right. Oh, lovely. So did you get on the fast one, on the Virgin one, or did you? No, you didn't. The cheap, the Chiltern. Proper gutter trash, this lot. Lovely aircon on the Chiltern, though, isn't it? Lovely. I do that journey a lot. I wasn't going to start the show with this, but here we are now. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming along. Give me a cheer if you feel like you've travelled the furthest. Where have you travelled from? The woman who put her hand up. That's what I'm looking at. You weren't expecting a follow-up question, were you? I'm going to come down to your level. Not intellectually, of course. Hello there. Don't panic, it'll all be fine. What's your name? Hello, Flora. And who are you here with, Flora? Are you courting? Banging. When did you start banging? It's the first date. No, is it actually? And you're this trashed. Jesus. Is it a Tinder or is it like... It is, oh, okay. Well, this is being immortalised on my DVD, you realise? So, I hope you marry. If you get married, I'm coming to the wedding. We're all coming, aren't we? We're going to have a lovely time. Maybe have a glass of water in the interval. I'm worried about you, Flora. Does someone know you're out? I like the look of him. He looks sweet, but you never know. You know, you never can... What do you do? What are your prospects? Oh, no, I wasn't asking you, Flora. I feel like you've got lots of prospects. You're a psychotherapist? OK, what do you do? You make stuff in China. He's a drug dealer, isn't he? He's a drug dealer. Good luck to you, Flora. What's your name, man that makes stuff in China? Paul. Paul and Flora. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Feels like a lasting relationship, I feel. Have you just... How long have you both been single? I feel like we're on Love Island now. How long have you both been single? Flora? 3 years? 2 years? OK. 6 months? OK. So, about time, yeah, it's ready to... Yeah. I've been single for about 2 years. Ready to fuck all of you. This is how I get... This is how I sort of allure you in, just by sitting in this very attractive way. Well, welcome to the filming of my DVD. Love your top. Where's that from? You've no idea. You've stolen a top. What's your name? Zara. Zara. Hello, Zara. Is there any chance that it's from Zara? What do you think of this top?
I like it.
Do you like it? What do we think? Right, because... So, I don't normally wear this, apparently, because we're filming it. The shirt that I normally wear is a bit much. But I put it here. Apparently, this is a bit much. I mean, look at this. I wanted to wear that. I couldn't work out if it looked like I'd sort of collapsed at a marathon. Do you know what I mean? Julian Clary had fucked a Ferrero Rocher, and here we are. So I've gone with this number. Welcome along. I'm so thrilled that you're all here, and there's all these bloody cameras everywhere. Thank you so much for coming. This is extraordinary. There's so many of you. It's lovely. Who are you here with, Sarah? Is this your friend? Hello, Jess. Hello, nice to see you, Jess. Are you well?
I'm great.
Are you eating well? Are you hydrated? What are you drinking? 2 Heinekens. Oh, my God. Look at these basic bitches down here on the I like it, though. 2 Heinekens. I'd love to have a drink. I might have one later. I feel like I've got stuff to do now. And then I'll have one later. Give me a cheer if you're drinking. I'm pleased with it. Yes, lovely, good. I did Dry January. Did anyone do Dry January? No, I don't recommend it. Yes, I learnt one thing. My friends are fucking boring. That's what I learnt. If I have to look at another baby picture, sorry if you're preg or if you've had a child, but just spare me your shit, honestly. Really good way of not looking at baby pictures, repeatedly and aggressively shout, no! They go away after a while. It's marvellous, marvellous. Did Dry January. I've done it twice now. Did it last year when I was living with mother and father, Dave and Helen, great couple of lads. And, this might be oversharing this early on in the show, but as a result of Dry January, I got a lot of morning wood, shall we say. A little stiffy in the D, as us lads say, don't we? And, a mechanic came round to collect my car, and Mum answered the door. She shouted up, she said, Joe, you got your car keys? I was having a dream about Idris Elba. As is my right. I had a little tent effect in the pyjamas. Not a full yurt, just a tent. And I tried to suppress it with my hand in my pyjama pocket, but it didn't really work. So what I did is I tucked it between my legs. Now, I don't know if anyone's walked down a staircase with a semi trapped in their gooch. But it's fraught with peril. I got to the bottom step and then I tripped and it sprung out. Sort of baby punching its way out of my mangina. Anyway, long story short, the car's fine, but Mum's not happy. She's not happy. I will be slagging her off later on in the show, so don't worry about that. Helen will be getting it both barrels. Did Dry January again this year for different reasons. I went to the doctor last summer and I was feeling tired all the time and he did some tests and apparently I'm deficient. I'm deficient in vitamins B, D, folic acid and omega-3. And he said, 1, eat better because I eat loads of trash, and also go to a pharmacy, get a supplement with all of these in, you'll start to feel better. So I went to Boots. The only supplement that has all of these in is pregnancy support. So I've been on pregnancy support for the last few months, and I tell you what, I feel like a pregnant woman. I sit down backwards onto chairs, I do that one, talk about myself the whole fucking time. I'm a pregnant woman. Sorry if you're preg, I'm going to be slagging you off now. It's just, I'm turning 30 this year. So many of my friends are having kids. I've got a text, actually, which you can use if you'd like. I'm so thrilled with it. If somebody's just had a baby, I'll text them, I'll say, are you sleeping? Because inevitably they won't be. And they go, oh, no, I haven't slept for days. That kind of reply. Nonsense. And then I'll go back, and I'm so thrilled with the wording of this. I go back and I say, it'll all be worth it when they're softly stroking your hair as you slip into oblivion. It's like Shakespeare, isn't it? Marvellous. Met one of my friend's kids last year. Friend I went to university with, her daughter. I avoided this child for 4 years. She's 4 years old. I'd heard bad things. Met her last year. She's the worst person I've ever met. And I've met Eamon Holmes. I won't use her real name, that would be unfair. Let's call her Mugabe. And she was just spoiled, really. We were sat at dinner and she was here and she was kicking me in the legs. And at one point she caught my shin and I went, fuck. She started crying. The mum said, please don't swear in front of my child. I was like, oh, is that your child? I thought someone just condensed North Korea into a small woman, actually. Little bitch. But I've got a goddaughter who I adore. She is 11, and I think she might be a genius, because she loves painting, and I've got this office in Birmingham, so I took her to the office to do some painting, and we painted this mural on the wall, and while we were painting it, I said to her, I said, what do you think art is, just out of curiosity? And she thought about it, and she said, well, it's trust. And I said, what do you mean by that? And she went, well, if you trust something's good, then it is. I was like, fucking hell, that's the most profound thing anyone's ever said to me from an 11-year-old. So, have another go on the bong. What are you going to say next? So yes, I'm trying to be healthier. I love a full-fat Coke, and I'm on Diet Cokes now, and I'm struggling with it, really. Funnily enough, I was at a university reunion, I was drinking a Diet Coke, and I went up to a girl who I didn't know that well at university, and I was holding this Diet Coke, and I said to her, I said, oh, hello, how are you? What are you up to now? And she went, I hate that. I hate small talk. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how conversation works with you now, then. How did the death of your father affect your sex life? Just straight on in. She said, you shouldn't be drinking that. And I said, why? Now, what I think she meant to say was, it's full of aspartame. What she actually said was, you shouldn't be drinking that. It's full of apartheid. I knew it was bad, didn't realise it was that bad. Bloody hell! I tried being a fruitarian. That's where you can only eat things that have fallen from trees. I managed one day, I had 3 cooking apples and an owl. Arguably the best joke of the show. That pissed it away in the first section. There she goes. Off she flies. Bless she. I had another version of that joke, which was 3 cooking apples and a small boy, but I felt like it was potentially too much. We're going to go to an interval shortly. Before we do that, I'd like to tell you about a little project I've been working on with the EDL, the English Defence League. Any members in? Any members? Occasionally there's a crossover with my audience with the EDL. If you're not familiar with the EDL, they don't like Muslims or hair. Those are the 2 things they despise. Muslims and hair. There was a rally last summer, a rally in Birmingham. You might have seen this picture from it. This is a girl called Sophia Khan. She was facing up to one of the EDL members with this... Yes, she's amazing, Sophia Khan. With this serenity and calmness on her face, with all this aggression from the EDL member. In the weeks preceding this rally, I discovered somebody I went to school with, who I am erroneously still friends with on Facebook, is a member of the EDL and was trying to generate support for this rally with his own Facebook group. Now, I like to troll people on social media, using various aliases that I create, so I went on as Angela Middlebin. And I wrote, hi guys, looking forward to the rally in Brum later. Think it'll be a lovely day for it. I work in PR with some high-profile right-wing and right-leaning commentators, such as Katie Hopkins, Piers Morgan, and Fern Britton. Now, Fern Britton is, I don't think, right-wing in any way, but she blocked me on Twitter, so fuck her. I know, Fern Britton, of all people, I felt like I've been blocked by Gandhi. I'm now unblocked, I should mention that. It's a long story, really. I won't go into it. There was a threat on her life. Let's move on. She'll be dead by dusk. She's actually a very nice lady. I continued. One of my clients brought to my attention the fact that there is an organisation already using the name EDL. This is all true, I did some research. It is a company called Electricité du Liban and supplies electricity to the country of Lebanon. According to recent stats, Lebanon is 54% Muslim, which means, in effect, that the EDL is powering Muslims. As a result, I think an immediate rebrand of the EDL and change of name ahead of the rally is necessary. I've discussed this with my colleagues in the office, and we have come up with the name Eyes on Islam, or ISIS for short. See you all there, love Angela. Within 3 minutes, somebody called Ben put, join ISIS sounds a lot like ISIS. Well done, Ben! He suggested, what about UK Defence League? You could have @UKDL on Twitter. Now, I did some research into this to see if this is viable. Unfortunately for Ben, it's not. There's already an @UKDL account on Twitter. It's private, but you can read the blurb. This is the blurb. We all start off in nappies. Many of us will end up in them. So why not enjoy them in between as well? It's an adult nappy wearer, which... Fine. Each to their own. You do you. But I'm not sure the vibe the EDL's going for. So I suggested, what about the Islamic Cessation Group, or ISIS for short? Ben put, still sounds like ISIS. Well done, Ben! I put, how about Islam should immediately stop, or ISIS for short? He worked it out then. He put, fuck off this group, Angela. I said, OK, Ben, sorry for the hassle. I've got to go to the opticians anyway. Got a pus-filled growth on my cornea. I think it's an eye cyst. Bit of pun fun there. Bless you. Right. If I call your name out, if I read one of your tweets out, could you stand up for us? Could we have house lights up for this as well, just so I can see them? Oh, also... Leon, are you all right to... This is Leon, everybody. Say hi, Leon. Are you all right to come out and... So they said, this is my cameraman. I can do whatever I like with him. I mean, if anyone's got suggestions... Hello, Leon. So we're going to zoom in on people. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Let's just have a test. Oh, yes. What are these guys? What's your names?
Tony.
Tony and...
Richard.
Tony and Richard. How do you know each other, Tony and Richard?
Partners.
Partners, OK. We've got a lovely picture there. Smile for us. Very nice. That's going straight on Twitter when we finish the show. Find these men. Right, let's have a look at your tweets. There's some really funny ones. Really funny ones. Some people didn't really understand. Oh, love Zoe Ballbag from Fraser. That's good. Oh, where is Fraser, actually? Stand up, Fraser C04. Where are you? Hello, Fraser. 103 followers. 104 now, I'm following you. And I will follow you home. You sent in Joe Likes Dick. Thanks, mate. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Just like it. I'm not in love with it. I like a dick. I like a dick. Thanks, Fraser. Round of applause for Fraser. Something rather Mel and Sue. Somebody's put Bell and Pooh. This one's really nice. Where's Dave Moore? Dave Moore. Tweet time, Dave? Where are you? You up top there as well. You only sent one in, Dave. You haven't given much information on your profile either. You've got 92 followers. The last thing you did was retweet Jonathan Ross. This isn't a Jonathan Ross-based tweet. What'd you do, Dave? A finance analyst. Gosh, it's boring people up there, isn't it? Where'd you live, Dave? In Kent. Oh. Oh. Mixed response from the room for Kent. People down here not sure they like Kent. But then some other people over there love it. Hey, it takes all sorts, doesn't it? You sent in, Dave, Tess sucks off your dad daily. That's really nice. Really lovely work. Round of applause for Dave. Lovely stuff. Daily. Sucks off your dad daily. Well, the show, I should tell you what the name of the show is. It's called More, How Do You Lice It, How Do You Lice It? Which, thank you for the one laugh. I agree. I'm over the puns. I don't like doing the puns anymore because all of my show titles have had puns. Basically, I wanted to call this show something different, but my agent said no. Between you and I wanted to call this show Prince Andrew is a Nonce. Obviously, he refutes the claims and the case has been settled, but it's just basically, I didn't want to be able to promote it, essentially. So, I'll be on the One Show, Alex Jones would be looking me in the eye going, talk about the show, but don't you fucking say the name of the show. Just so you know, if you see me talking about the show anyway, I'm on Sunday brunch or whatever, in my head, it's Prince Andrew's a Nonce, just so you're aware. Just so you're aware. I should tell you some things before I get on with the show. The first thing that's really important, because this has been a bit of a confusing issue, I am not James Acaster. That's James Acaster. I've got to be very clear about this, because he's a brilliant comedian, he's a great friend of mine, but he said that people keep shouting my name at him in the street. We don't look similar, do we? I don't think we look similar at all. Anyway, my agent said we need to do some posters to promote the tour. Have you got any ideas? I'd been drinking, this is what I came up with. I was furious because sales shot up. Got me into all sorts of legal headaches. I had to do a public apology. I said I'll never again use James Acaster's image without his prior approval. I've agreed to not play Kettering on the tour. That's where he's from. And I said within the apology post I will publish the correct tour poster, which is attached, and then I attach the correct one. So it's I'm being silly. That's Claire Boulding, another lesbian. Don't worry, it's absolutely fine. That was the correct tour post. That's the correct one. Well, actually, technically that's the correct one, but. It's so nice, though. Since I changed the name of the show, people have been promoting it for me. This is in Salford. Isn't that nice of them to do that? It's so lovely of them to do that. Undo! Undo! I'm so angry, I forgot the letter R. Anyone in from Salford? No, it's a shithole. I lived there for a year, I can say it's a shithole. It's a nice shithole, it's a shithole. Right, okay. I'm having a lager beer, lads. Oi, oi. Any other geezers in? Catch the game, geezer? Was there a game? I don't know if there was a game. Give me a cheer if you got into day drinking in lockdown. Yes, that's my audience. Honestly, lockdown, I was drinking way too much. I'd wake up and I'd get to midday and I'd go, I have got to stop drinking, I'm wrecked. And when the first lockdown ended, I went for a boozy lunch with a friend of mine in London, and I got overexcited and I had way too much white wine, and I thought, I'll walk through London, I'll just sort of sober up. And I was wandering through London, and I walked past some filming. Now, I have the body of a 43-year-old mother of 4, but in these scenarios, the mind of a teenage boy, and I thought, I'm going to do something silly in the background of filming. They can do another take, it doesn't matter. And my first thought was to go like, oh, like that, and then I thought, no, I'm better than that. So what I did is a silly walk. This is what I did in the background of filming. I went like this, I went, oh. Not my best work by any means. Got back to where I was staying, and I'd sobered up by that point, and I was looking on Twitter, and people were tweeting me with things like this. Just saw you on Sky News. I hadn't considered it was a live broadcast. Walking behind the reporter at the Old Bailey. The Old Bailey is where the worst of the crimes are tried. Genuinely, I'd walked into the background of a report about a paedophile sex ring. Actually. Oh, like that. But my first thought was to go, oh. Just delighted to have a career, to be honest with you. Could have gone so horribly wrong. Yes, lockdown got in the way of doing stand-up. I was meant to do this tour a lot sooner. And I had my jab. This is me having my jab. And the nurse said, oh, do take a photo and put it on Instagram. We're trying to promote the vaccine. She hadn't considered I might put a caption with it. I just wanted a Tuesday afternoon strippogram, and now I'm hooked on meth. And then underneath, this post was sponsored by Microsoft, Shoezone and Screwfix. Oh, the anti-vaxxers are out in force. Someone called me a foot soldier of tyranny. I love that. That's going on the posters next year. Someone else said, idiot, I bet he was paid thousands for this and didn't even take the vaccine. You got me there. Shoezone did pay me thousands. Fair play. I get it. It was scary to have the vaccine. A friend of mine was absolutely terrified. She had it, and then afterwards she said, I don't want to think about it. I just want to get drunk. And we had 3 bottles between us. And the next morning she rang me and she went, Joe, I've had a terrible reaction to the vaccine. I was like, It might be the gavi-de-gavi, darling. I said, what are your symptoms? She went, oh, I've got a terrible headache. And weirdly, a brand new tattoo. That's the vaccine. I've got this neighbour who's very handsome. He lives a few doors down from me. He's called George, and I never know what he's up to. He's always doing weird stuff, because he rang me the once and he said, have you got a flat-headed screwdriver? And I looked and I said, I haven't got one, sorry. And he went, never mind, any hummus? What evening are you having? I don't know what you're doing. And I got COVID on the 1st of January this year, and he rang me on the 5th, and he said, are you all right, Joe? I've not seen you come out of your house. And I said, I'm absolutely fine, George. I've got COVID, but I'm isolating. I've got no symptoms. I'm absolutely fine. And I said, how are you? And he went, oh, nightmare. I was meant to go to France, but they've closed the borders, and the insurance doesn't pay out if they close the borders, only pay out if I get COVID. And I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, George. And he went, can I come round? I was like, a hot guy wants to come round to get an infectious disease off me to fuck off an insurance company. I've had dreams about this shit. And I thought about it, and I thought, fuck it. So I invited him round, we had a few beers, had a lovely time. He left, he got a positive PCR test, but he's an anti-vaxxer and he died. R.I.P. George. Little twist in that one. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Oh, it's all good fun, it's all good fun.